Hey, what's going on, Knuckles family? It's RL Knuckles here to give you another Knuckles family of friends. And this time you see me do non-video games, but now we're kind of doing another discussion. This is actually be the first discussion on the video game topics, and been wanting to do this for quite some time. I feel as though what better way to start with is doing the PS5 reveal or the semi-reveal, I would call it. So right now, it's supposed to be with a couple of people, but that didn't work out. But my boy Jesse still pulled through here, and as you know, Jesse's been a number of my videos. Just been in we did the Birds of Prey review, we did the Streets of Rage 5, which you still got to finish that arcade thing, and he was in Guacamelee too. So Jesse's been my right hand man. So I just want to appreciate him for showing up for all these things. So yes.
hmm
Okay. Thank you again, Jesse. So basically,
hmm
this whole discussion is going to be about PS5's reveal that happened this past Thursday, and maybe we might add in a little bit of an Xbox Series X in it, just a little bit. We'll see how much time we have with this recording, but mainly it's going to be about the PS5 reveal. And I'll start by saying this. It was pretty decent. It wasn't anything too extraordinary. They kind of just mainly showed off like more of their first party games, right? And just the actual specs of what the system can do. Because I feel as though they're kind of learning from like what Microsoft did with the Xbox One when they revealed it. Because when Xbox One revealed their system, it was like, oh, it does this, that, thing. You can watch your sports and yada yada, but they didn't really talk about the games per se. And then what made
hmm
it matters worse is how he said you couldn't like borrow games; you had to have like a digital code or like that. So that made a lot of gamers angry, which I agree because I think that's really dumb. And you've ever seen that one Sony video when they said this is how you borrow a friend's game? You see that shirt video?
I thought it was Nintendo.
That,
I thought
that, that was
Nintendo did that.
that was Sony. That was Sony.
Oh, yeah, I saw it, but I thought it was Nintendo.
Pretty much was like a slap in the
The big
face.
name.
Yeah, that was pretty much a slap in the face to Microsoft right there. So it's like you kind of say it away. Microsoft kind of screwed themselves over before the system was even released. And honestly, think about it. The reason why I didn't get Xbox One was not because I hate Microsoft. Like I'm not one of those people that's like Team Sony, Team Microsoft, Team PlayStation, Team Xbox. No, I just like video games in general. But the reason why I didn't get that system was because there wasn't really a whole lot of games on the Xbox One, especially first party. Like the only games I wanted was the Killer Instinct and maybe the new Halo
Yeah.
game. But other than that, though, that's two games. Like I have no
Mhm.
hate towards Gears of War. I just didn't get into it. Honestly, I guess I feel as though like I got my 360 late. I got mine in like 2009. What? There's still a good amount of time that there was still a good amount of games around that time, but like I didn't really play Gears of War when it first came out. I didn't have a 360 yet, so maybe if I had it
Mhm.
earlier, maybe I would have bought it. But Gears of War just wasn't my thing. But other than that, though, there wasn't a whole lot against for Xbox One. I feel so that's where that system failed because it's really just been Nintendo and Sony that's been doing well, and even this reveal event for Sony, they didn't do a whole lot. It just talked about their first party games, which I think was a good idea because the Xbox One reveal thing that was really more of a third party. You didn't really see what the system could do itself. I think I
Yeah.
heard they're gonna have a Microsoft conference sometime at the end of this month. I'm not 100% sure, but
Mhm.
yeah, but for the PS5 though, they didn't really do a whole lot, which I don't think that was the problem. Like I said, they just showed a lot of first party games, just mainly predicated to its fan base. I'm sorry, I talked a whole lot, so I want to get like your takes on the reveal because I think we'll talk about the games like after your thoughts on the reveal. I know we were talking about the reveal a bit too early, but I feel as though like with this topic, it's like how I mean you kind of have to start off by saying what you think about it. Then you can later go on
Yeah.
the other good things. So you can take it away.
Yeah. Compared to Xboxes, when I watched the Microsoft one, it felt like all they really showed was cinematic cutscenes for the games and no
Yeah.
actual gameplay for most of them. So I think what I appreciated most from from Sony's reveal was the amount of games that actually had gameplay in it.
Yeah.
Now I think they kind of almost when I was watching it, I felt like they almost hyped up it what the system was capable of too much, in
Yeah.
which Sony opened by saying that it would be the greatest generational leap we've ever seen. And so I'm thinking I'm going to be blown away by all these graphics from the games. And then the first game they show is a port of a PlayStation 3 game
Yeah, the
with
Grand
Grand
Theft
Theft Auto
Auto, right?
5.
Yeah. Yeah. I never really got into Grand Theft Auto.
Sorry, you cut out there a little bit, but
Sorry. I never really
um,
got into Grand Theft Auto all that much.
yeah, but they were saying, oh, it's going to be the largest generational leap, and then here's a port.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
that's not a good start.
so that was uh, odd choice.
Yeah.
And a lot of these games, I didn't think the graphics felt like that large of a generational leap. If you were to tell me all these trailers were from the PlayStation 4, I would absolutely believe you.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true. It felt
Now,
this.
I think the one exception was Horizons with the graphics that they showed, but I think that felt like largely cinematic. If it wasn't cinematics, then I am thoroughly impressed. But
Yeah.
it doesn't really show us what the system itself is capable of, I felt.
Yeah, no, I feel as though that's gonna be in a later reveal because I think I'm not gonna lie, the specs of all that it was too much for me to even like gather into my mind. The biggest takeaway I see is that okay, it can play certain PS4 games. And
Mm-hmm.
Sony really hasn't been doing backwards compatibility all that much. Like with PS3, could you play PS2 games on there? I don't think you could.
PS2 games on PS3 or
Yeah,
PS3 games on PS4?
we'll go with we'll start with the PS3. So PS2 games on PS3. I don't think
No,
you.
no, there was never backwards compatibility.
Yeah,
Now that I think about it, yeah.
same thing with PS4. There wasn't backwards compatibility either for having PS3
Mm-hmm.
games, but now they're now doing backwards compatibility, which is a good thing. Which I feel as though, excuse me, Microsoft did better with that. I would say that's the advantage that Microsoft did was doing backwards compatibility because a lot of people like that. But I
Yeah.
will definitely say this with PS4 is that, well, not PS5 is that now you can take the PS4 games, play in a high resolution on the PS5. That will look cool. That will
Mm.
really look cool. So I'm looking forward to play, Spider-Man on the PlayStation 5, see how that works.
Yeah.
And speaking of
Hmm.
Spider-Man, one of the early games that was shown was the Spider-Man Miles Morales game, which comes out this holiday. We didn't see a whole lot, but it was still, fun to see because I still remember you played the PS4 Spider-Man game. Very, very great game. And granted, they say it's not a sequel; it's a standalone game. But I'm hearing it's an expansion as well too. So,
Yeah, I think what Corey had told me was that it was sort of like how Red Dead Redemption 1 did Undead Nightmare, where it can technically be a standalone game, but it's more of an expansion on
yeah,
the first game.
yeah,
So it's like a very large DLC campaign. I guess it might be the best way to explain it.
yeah. Because it wouldn't surprise me because the game came out like by September, it'll be like 2 years. The original Spider-Man game. I feel as though that's kind of a little bit too fast to make it actually be like a complete new game. Like it doesn't
Hmm.
surprise me that it's an expansion because it's like I just I'm not gonna lie. Like, am I looking forward to this game? Absolutely. But it's like, what changes are you going to do from the first Spider-Man game that you just had? Like, I can honestly, I hope I'm wrong, but I can kind of say it'd be totally identical to the original Spider-Man
Mm.
game. It would not surprise me at all. I
Yeah,
don't want it to.
we could run into that trap of it being just the same campaign, but you play as Miles instead.
Be.
But if it's anything like Undead Nightmare, Red Dead Redemption Undead Nightmare, it used the same maps, but the story was completely different. And then they added the zombies into Red Dead, so it felt like a totally different game.
Okay,
But
that's good.
yeah,
And I'm pretty
but
sure.
I this is
My,
a completely different company, so.
yeah, I feel as though they'll do that, but it's like me just thinking like they didn't see, but like I feel like they should show some type of gameplay so I can say, like, okay, this game is different. But so we didn't really get much. Get like a small trailer, and that was it. So
Yeah,
like, I
yeah,
wanted to see more from it. I'm not saying I had to show a whole lot, but at least give me a gameplay to make sure it's like okay, this game definitely plays different from the original Spider-Man game that was released.
yeah, yeah. I was driving home when I missed the first few minutes of it. I listened to the audio though, so I was being safe while I was
Okay,
driving.
okay,
Uh,
cool.
I had it attached to my stereo, and my phone was locked, so I
Okay.
was no distracted driving. But I didn't
I
see
was
anything from the trailer just because I was only listening to it. But
okay.
when I had stopped at a few stoplights, I took a look at it and saw that it was Miles, but I didn't see a whole lot from that part.
Yeah, wasn't really a whole lot from that. But like I said,
Mhm.
regardless though, that's one of my it wasn't really much, but it was one of my biggest takeaways to the games. Do love the Spider-Man game, so like I said, I'm looking forward to
Mhm.
that. Now the next game that I like, granted, I like the characters. I only own one game from them from this franchise, and that's the Ratchet and Clank Rift. What was it? Rift. Damn, my handwriting is terrible. Rift, whatever, Trek Dimensions or whatever. But that game looked pretty interesting. I liked how they showed a classic Sony character at this conference, not conference, this reveal. So I'm not
Mhm.
gonna lie, it did look a little bit too much when I saw them drift into different dimensions during the gameplay. But the presentation looked nice. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Then again, I haven't played the actual original, the one that the Ratchet and Clank game that's on the PS4. That's a remake, isn't it? I have no idea.
The Ratchet and Clank on that?
Yeah, like there's a Ratchet and Clank game on the PS4. Is that something?
I'm not sure. The only one that I played of Ratchet and Clank was I think the PSP game that they had, and I remember really liking it.
Deadlock or whatever on PS2?
Yeah.
That was the multiplayer one.
Or no, the PSP one, not the PS2.
Yeah, that's why I had the PSP. That's right.
Yeah, I'm not sure what it was. I don't know much about Ratchet and Clank, but I
I
think
don't
it's
know
one of
too
those
much.
games that I like.
I don't know too much of them too, but I do like the characters. And at the end of the trailer, um, Clank was in a different dimension. We see like a female version of Ratchet. So I guess he's definitely in a dimension where it's a female
Mhm.
Ratchet. Is it gonna be a mechanical uh and a female mechanical Clank? I don't know, but it looked interesting. I don't think there was a release date on that. So
Mhm.
I was honestly, there wasn't a whole lot of release dates on a lot of these games. At least that's like
Yeah. It,
coming at
they
least
just
coming out.
said 2020 or 2021.
Yeah,
They just
really
said the
isn't.
year.
So
But I mean, when they only say the year, I mean, I'm sure that's subject to change if
yeah,
stuff gets delayed.
oh yeah, definitely. So that's one of my things. And then there was a new Square Enix game, but we didn't see a whole lot of that. It's like Project Athena or whatever like that. There wasn't too much of that, so you can't really speak on that. But this one game that
Mhm.
looked pretty good was Returnal, of how she's
Yeah.
oh sorry, my buddy just messaged me. Just I just
Yeah, I thought Returnal looked very interesting. I like the kind of spooky aspect of it, and I honestly prefer third person shooters over first person. There's just something about being able to see my character that I
yeah.
like.
Oh no,
I
absolutely,
feel
yeah,
like I
yeah.
can take the environment in so much more in being able to see my character. But yeah, it definitely looks like the kind of game that Sarah and I would really like, and she seemed really impressed by the trailer. I like the spooky aspect of it. The enemy design looks really interesting too.
Oh, definitely.
My concern is, I guess, with the time loop. So when you die, I guess you go back to the beginning of the game, in which I've played a few games with mechanics like that, like Dead Cells, and Dead Cells did it very well. But my worry is that the game could feel very uh, repetitive if there's not a large enough difference in what each playthrough is going to look like, or the game could only be say 10 hours long. It could be a very short game.
I've never played like any of as far as I can remember. I don't think I played any time looping games. But before I get into that, you know how you said you rather prefer third person over first person shooters? this is
Hmm.
just me. Correct me if I'm wrong. I need maybe I missed something, but I just feel as though. Do you think that Resident Evil 4 kind of like set up the stage for a lot of third person shooters? Because I can't think of a game before Resident Evil 4 that was third party. Because let's say everything was first person, first person, first person. I said third. I think I said third party. I meant to say third person. But yeah, Resident Evil 4 was third person, and I'm trying to think. I can't think of any other games before that that had third person. But even if they did third person, did quite the impact that Resident Evil 4 did? I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't think so. You got people in the comments,
Yeah,
let me know.
I'm sure there was some third person shooters out there because there's plenty of third person platformers
Yeah.
that were out there. But I don't know if any of them had that sort of impact that Resident Evil 4 had, which kind of sparked um, that sort of genre, I guess, or style of play.
Yeah, I don't think so. 'Cause I just feel as though Resident Evil 4 was just, like not the first, but like impact wise of a third person view. Because you see it in Resident Evil 5, even for the new granted Resident Evil 7's first person, but we see
Hmm.
6 was third person, the Resident Evil 2 and 3 remakes were third person, and who know
Hmm.
well, we'll get into Resident Evil 8 later, but who knows how that one's gonna be. I hope it's third person. Like I said, I already see my character running just a first person view. But like I said, let's not get too much into that. But Returnal, like I said, I haven't really played many like time rewinding games. I know you have Prince of Persia, but I haven't played that. Like the closest
Hmm.
thing I have with a time loop is playing as Tracer in Overwatch and doing her special ability to reverse time or whatever. That's the closest thing I have from
Hmm.
playing a game um that's like time loop. And so like I said, that
Yeah.
the aspect of it looks really good. And it looks like a strong female character, I love seeing, female video game characters. I don't know, I always think they're always BA in my opinion.
Yeah, yeah, that was we actually watched it. Sarah's roommate was up this weekend and we watched this trailer with her, and I think what they really liked about this was how authentic this character looked. Um,
Yeah.
she wasn't this supermodel. She wasn't some super old lady. Uh, if you were to show me this picture like of just the lady and say, is she an astronaut? I would say yeah. But
Hmm.
I think the design of her character was, when I think of what a real astronaut, a female astronaut would look like. Yeah, I think they definitely nailed that.
Mm. No, they did. Like I said, not your typical everyday mob, but your regular ordinary woman in that
Hmm.
trailer. So I think they picked a good choice. Was there? I can't remember. I don't think there was a release date for that. Was there? I don't think they even got a year from that.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure.
Nah, I don't think we got anything from that. Now, Grant,
Hmm.
here's the thing. I'm going through the list of the games that I like. I mean, like I don't know, maybe there might be some that you like that I didn't write. But the next one for me
Hmm.
was, Grant, I have not played these games, but it was that Sackboy Big Adventure. What really got to me
Ooh,
was,
yeah,
the
yeah,
co-op.
yeah,
Was
yeah.
the co-op that I saw in that? Listen, I never played Little Big
Mhm.
Planet. I probably should, but I don't have a PS3 at the moment.
Oh yeah,
Oh, you played him?
yeah. I love Little Big Planet. That was I went. So I originally was an Xbox fan during the 360 PS3 era,
Oh yeah, me too.
and
Yeah.
then I had two Xboxes Red Ring on me before I just gave up and said screw Xbox. So I jumped to PlayStation 3, and the first two games that I got were Demon Souls and Little Big Planet. I think I got Little Big Planet first
Okay.
because I wanted to get a multiplayer game. But yeah, I love Little Big Planet. It's really good platformer if
Mm.
if that's your style, which
No, no, I like no.
I
I
know you've
like.
played a lot of Mario games,
Oh no, I
and
no.
it is four player.
Okay, no, you already know me. I love me some. I love a lot of games. Just like my first preference is fighting games, and the list goes on from there. But like I said, I
Mm-hmm.
love playing any type of video game. And like I said, not to spell too much on this, but my 360 is still good. I got the Elite, the black one, because I kept hearing, oh, the red one gives the white ones give you the red one, which is stupid. I don't. But anyway, that's a different story for another day. But I don't know why Microsoft would give you a system that's gonna like give you the Red Ring of Death, which is baffling to me. But yeah, but the Sackboy game, no
Yeah.
release date on that. I mean, that looks really, really good. Like I said, what caught my attention was the co-op. You already know me. I love me some co-op games because that's what
Yeah.
me and you pretty much grew up on. Every game we're like, it's a
Mhm.
co-op, it's a co-op, it was a co-op. Like, viewers, let me just tell you
Mhm.
something right now. It is a co-op game. Me and Jesse will play that game. Like, that's like,
Yeah.
that is our,
I will absolutely be buying Little Big Planet.
yes.
Sarah likes it too. It's a very cutesy, fun, wholesome game.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that, while I was a little disappointed that Sony didn't seem to really deliver on, them saying that it was the largest generational gap in terms of what the PS5 can handle. I will say I really appreciated the amount of diverse styles and genres of games that they showed. And it seems like there was kind of a game for everyone in this. You know, if you're a young
Yeah.
kid who, wants a Super Mario like game, you got Little Big Planet or Sackboy Adventures.
Mm.
Um, if you kind of like the shoot 'em ups, there's definitely those other games, but we can talk about that later. But whereas I think Xbox, most of the games that they showed there, and I could be wrong, but it was the typical, um,
Adult,
almost
like,
like hyper realistic graphics. Um, whereas Sony had, very, uh, if you look at Goodbye Volcano High, the style of that is very different than that of Horizon Zero Dawn or Sackboy Adventure.
well, I just feel as though Sony always just focus on like the main video games. What sells its system? Video games. I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong, presentation, everything's all nice, but like if you don't have the games, you're not going to sell. Like, which is why I
Mm-hmm.
feel like Xbox One. I said this before. They
Mm-hmm.
focus more on what their system can do, whereas what games we have. You know what I mean? Like if you're making a
Yeah.
system,
Yeah.
the main core should be the video games. Not saying that you don't want to make a good resolution or anything like that, but like you're not going to sell a system if it doesn't have any good games for you to play. And if it, like I said,
Yeah.
for me, it's always been gameplay first, then presentation. That's just been my type of thing. That's what I grew up on. Because like, everything by presentation, Atari. I mean, granted, I know times were different back then, but like, you really got to say to yourself, okay, these weren't really all that great graphics at the end of the day. But you still enjoyed the game, though,
Mm-hmm.
didn't you? So yeah, like I said, we don't want to dwell too much
Mm-hmm.
on graphics because that'll be like forever talk. So the one game that
Yeah.
looked interesting to me was I know I apologize if I pronounced this name wrong. Was like Kenna, the Bridge of Spirits. That looked like a straight up
Yeah.
Pixar video game
Mm.
movie, straight
Studio Ghibli.
Pixar.
It definitely had the feelings of that.
Yeah,
That
I mean,
was, I think, the one I was most excited to show Sarah, and she seemed to really like it. And that was honestly, I think, I don't know if I want to say the best looking game from what they showed, because it was that more artistic style, but I think I was most impressed with the overall aesthetic of the game, where you kind of fight back the corruption. I think if I remember the trailer, you fight kind of back the corruption, and
yeah, yeah.
grow all these plants real quick, and then it showed some clips of it raining, and just the whole feel of it all. I was really impressed with.
No, and like despite it being all like kidding, so there were some pretty dark things from that trailer as well. There's a
Mm.
pretty dark aspect of it, but to say the best looking game that I saw, I mean, I don't want to say it, but it looked very, very beautiful. Like I just felt as though like I was literally watching a Pixar movie. I mean, yeah, you can look at Kingdom Hearts 3, and
Yeah.
the Pixar characters did look good, but like you can tell that was a video game. Whereas this one, it literally felt like I was like in Pixar legit movie just watching that trailer,
Hmm.
and it looked
Yeah.
really, really great.
I think Kenna, however you pronounce it, definitely has the potential to be one of the big new IPs, like the new franchise characters.
It could.
But we'll see. We'll see how the gameplay goes.
Mm.
I think it's set up as third person. You have a magic staff that she used as a bow as well.
Use a boat too.
Um,
Yeah, got to change the
mhm.
weapon.
Yeah.
You get, yeah, that looks fun. I can't wait to try that game. the next one for me was this kind of. I mean, I think you might have. I think you might have liked it. I'm not sure. It was still. It looked a little buggy to me, but I was the. It was the Ghostwire Tokyo game. Did you look into that one?
Mhm.
That one, like,
Yeah, that might have been. There's a lot of good games shown. I
yeah,
think Ghostwire might have been the game that was most made for my type of games that I like.
uh,
I like the horror genre, and it felt very uh, Doctor Strange esque with
it was
the
very
hand
supernatural.
gestures and very trippy with all the I guess portals you can go through and the magic spells. I was very excited for that. If I was, I would, yeah, I would definitely say I'm going to be picking that game up uh,
Mhm.
once it
Yeah,
comes out.
yeah. It was more into the. It was more on the supernatural type of thing, and
Hmm.
like I said, it was horror. It looks like a horror game as well too, but it's like everything supernatural you can think of. Jump scares, anything like say if you watch the show Supernatural, that's pretty much So looking to my email too.
Hmm.
That's pretty much
Sarah said,
what's up.
Sarah said she got a lot of Bioshock vibes from it. Um, so if you're a fan of Bioshock watching this, I would definitely recommend checking this out.
I never really got into Bioshock. I know what Bioshock is, but I never really got into that game. 'Cause I know
Mhm.
Mr. Big was in PlayStation Battle Royale All
Big
Stars.
Daddy,
A
Big
big
Daddy,
game.
not Mr. Big.
Well,
Yeah.
why I said that? Yeah, big. I don't know why I said that, but yeah. So is that a good thing it got Bioshock vibes? I want to say so.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I guess if they were to make I'm trying to think how to explain it. So Bioshock is a very kind of roaring 20s setting, at least the first one,
Mm,
but set in an underwater civilization that everything just went wrong in it.
okay.
Uh, so it has a very creepy aesthetic. I wouldn't necessarily put it on the same level of horror as say a Resident Evil game because horror wasn't the focus, but it definitely has the horror vibes behind it. And I
Okay.
think Ghostwire is the same way, where Ghostwire's focus might not necessarily be the jump scares or the horrors because it felt more of like an action game, but it definitely feels like it's going to have those creepy scenes for
Okay.
those who enjoy the thriller or horror aspect of the genre.
Okay. If I had the time, I'd give it a shot. It's just hard to buy new games when I saw yet to play other games that I bought. I mean, it's tough. It really is. So this
Mm-hmm.
next one kind of got my attention. Well, it did. That's why I wrote it in here. But like, I'm not sure how it is, and that's that Godfall game. Like, it looked pretty interesting. I didn't honestly look too much in that. From what I saw from the show, I'm like, okay, it
Sorry,
looked.
which one you kind of?
Sorry, it was the game Godfall. It looked all right.
Oh,
It looked okay.
so
Like,
that's the looter slasher that Gearbox has been talking about a lot.
yeah.
As much as I love Borderlands and I've been playing, I think I have like 200 hours into Borderlands 3. I
Mhm.
don't trust Gearbox at all. They just don't finish their games. Borderlands 3 is still super buggy. They only just fixed the user interface in the inventory, where if you were in split screen, you open the menu, there would just be so much lag, and they just fixed it. I think 9 months after the game came out,
This is just
and
me. I'm sorry to cut you off. I still have yet to
I
be,
just,
and not say I don't enjoy it. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
the biggest thing for me, I know it might be a slight issue. I don't like how it runs on 30 frames per second. That 30, like that just bugs me. I'm like, why isn't that running through
you
60? But did they adjust
you
that?
can set it to performance mode uh, instead of graphic mode, I think, or resolution mode, in which I think in performance mode it runs at 60 frames, but on release there was a lot of lag even in performance mode that they've since fixed, but it still just feels unfinished even
That's
now.
unfortunate.
And I think Godfall would have been a game that I really liked because I prefer sword fighting over
Oh yeah,
gunplay,
without a doubt.
and I like the the loot and shoot kind of aspect of Borderlands, but
Yeah,
I just don't
they
trust it to be
introduced that,
finished.
honestly. You It wasn't,
Mhm.
yeah, because you can say in the last decade, like from 2000, what year did the first Borderlands come out in?
2009 was my guess. 2008. I remember I was in high school.
Because from 2010 and so on, like I guess if you want to look at through 2009 or whatever, like I mean, even from 2000 2009, you can kind of say 2009 kind of falls into the more of the 2010 aspect of it, but like yeah, you can
Mhm.
say that Borderlands introduced the looting game style of first person. And I thought that was pretty dope. Yeah, but say
Yeah.
you got me into Borderlands, so like I said, I
Yeah.
want to say thank you for you for that. And you said that
Mm.
Borderlands just might be your favorite series.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's not just yeah, it's the story, all that. I like the humor of it. The humor in Borderlands 3 wasn't as good as number two, but just the ridiculousness of it, I love.
Mm, yeah. So the next one I have that I wrote was Deathloop. I kind of like the style, and I kind of like the main character. Hey, man, I love seeing my black main characters, man. Like I don't really see that a whole
Yeah.
lot often, and so it seemed
Mhm.
like a very '70s style of that trailer. You know what I mean? Like some '70s, like
Oh yeah.
some Black Diamond type of vibe from it. But that game looked fun. Looked very, and it didn't look all that like it looked like funny, cartoonish in a type of way, but like it was still serious at the same time though. So I think this might, again, I mean, you have another Deathloop game with, not Deathloop, but like a whole like you die, come like Returnal. That's what I'm kind of scared of. Is
Yeah.
gonna be like a Returnal, but I feel as though Returnal has a better graphic standpoint of it, and maybe like more of a serious tone story. Whereas this one, it's like it's an interesting story, but it's not like that dark thriller, serious type of thing. It's just like
Yeah.
a guy just stuck in a time loop, and now you have the other killer was trying to kill him too. So I thought that low key game looked good. Like it's not getting as much. I
Yeah.
don't think people are talking about it as much, but I'm sorry, I'm looking through my
Yeah. I was really excited when I was watching that trailer. And I know you didn't mention it, but now that I'm going to mention it, you're going to agree with me. I thought it was Time Splitters at first, and I definitely got some Time Splitters vibes from it. Uh,
Yo, I didn't think about
but
that.
like if Time Splitters was written by Quentin Tarantino, that's what this game would be. Is what I kind of thought.
Really?
Um, Now, as far you do bring up a good point about the death loop aspect of it, where you go back to the beginning when you die. Um, I think what Returnal might do better than Deathloop is it. Deathloop didn't mention anything about the stages changing at all, in which
That's right.
Deathloop might get
Yeah, I forgot
more, might feel more repetitive than Returnal, because Returnal is going to reset the planet you're on whenever you
right.
die. But the gunplay looked like such a blast. It just seemed very over the top with shooting people's heads off and cracking necks, and then
Yeah.
using force powers to push them around and then shoot their heads off. But yeah, this was definitely I loved it. I loved the trailer. Um,
I'm surprised you liked it too. I thought I'd be the only one that would like it.
I thought it just seemed like so much fun, and that's where I think it might um, do better than Returnal, because Returnal seemed more straightforward in terms of its action
Yeah.
with its shooting, whereas Deathloop seemed like they were really trying something new with what your character can do.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, in this character, like there's no disrespect to the character from Return, but this one, it like he doesn't seem like the more funny, how you say, the
Mm.
more funny, laid back, everyday type of guy. Whereas Returnal, it's she's in a very, I think the tone that she's in, like being on a planet, like I said, changing every day, that's eventually gonna mess up
Mm.
your cycle because she's going insane. Whereas this guy, it's like, okay, every day I gotta deal with this bull cart every day. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
not like I said, Returnal's more serious. This was like, more of a funny, laid back type of game. Not my whole like everything life your life depends on the type of vibe, but it's like an everyday type of thing, How you die, you
Mm.
just want to see like when you die, like how does it reset in the gameplay type of way? You know what I mean? We didn't really see too much of
Yeah, do we have checkpoints or is it just straight back to the beginning?
that. Hmm.
Because if it's back to the beginning, the game's only, like I said, 10 hours long. Uh, I think that could get old pretty quickly.
And it says this game comes out like this holiday season,
Yeah.
so we'll see how that goes. All right, so
Mhm.
now this is just me. These are the two best. I mean, I won't say best, but as fans of the series, we're like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, and that's Resident Evil 8 Village, which to me is that going to be a Sony exclusive? Because I I want to say a lot of these games are first party games, but with Resident Evil, it's been on multiple platforms for like the past year. So
Mhm.
I'm not sure if this is gonna be a system exclusive because this vibe from the
Yeah.
whole reveal event was all, Sony, Sony, Sony. No, it wasn't anything about like a third party system. Whereas Horizon, I mean not Horizon, Resident Evil, that's a multi-platform game unless Sony works on that with Capcom. Because then again,
Yeah.
you can look at the argument with Street Fighter 4 was only released on the PS4. It wasn't released on the Xbox One. It's only on the PS4.
Mhm.
So I feel as though maybe that could have
Yeah.
said something. But at the same time, though, we just got Resident Evil 6 a couple of months, not Resident Evil 6, remake of Resident Evil 3 a couple months ago, and that's on both systems. So like, I'm very happy
Yeah.
we're getting a new Resident Evil game, but excuse me,
Mhm.
maybe it's not a big question, but it's like, is it gonna be a multiple platformer? I don't know.
Yeah. In terms of style, I really liked that it seemed to go back to Resident Evil 4.
Yeah.
This
Oh
seems
yeah.
like more of a sequel to Resident Evil 4 than any other game in the series has been.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. But I was hearing rumors that I don't know, it's just rumors. So apparently, you know how they did a remake of Resident Evil 2 and 3 like from a year to year. Apparently,
Mhm.
this is what I hear. I'm not 100% sure that maybe they're gonna have to get Leon, Claire, Chris, and Jill together for the next Resident Evil game. And honestly, I know I said this a while ago. I don't think it's ever gonna happen. I feel as though if you're gonna make the last quote unquote Resident Evil game from the story, you bring back all the survivors, but you can make a legitimate argument that when it comes to Resident Evil characters, you would say a lot of people put Chris number one, but Leon's my favorite. But you would say
Yeah.
like they're the original four, really, because like I said they started with Resident Evil 1. That was Chris and Leon. Then the second one, not Chris and Leon, was Jill and Chris. I'm sorry, Jill and Chris from the first one. Then in the second one, it was Leon and Claire. Third one was just mainly Jill and Carlos. Okay, Carlos was. I would say in the Resident Evil 3, the remake, Carlos is a pretty cool character. I thought it was very hilarious, and I wouldn't mind seeing him in another Resident Evil game. But yeah, Resident Evil Code Veronica, that new character. I forgot his name. That was on Code Veronica. Do you remember him?
Yeah, I didn't really play Code Veronica.
Yeah, like he was a nobody. You know what I mean? Like I would say it's just mainly these four. Like your probably most popular Resident Evil characters. So and I mean, it's just a rumor. But if that's the case, if they all are in this one, they're pretty dope because it's like you just put Jill in a remake. Why would you not put her in Resident Evil 8? You know what I mean? And like I
Mhm.
said, you're gonna be back in the village. This is just me being a biased guy. Leon fits good in the village because he looked great in Resident Evil 4. So like I
Yeah.
want to see back Leon. Plus, Claire, she wasn't really in a whole lot of Resident Evil games. She was only in two, Veronica, the other one, the that was on the Nintendo DS. I forgot what it was.
Leon?
No, Claire. She was in this one
Oh, um, yeah,
what
I'm
the,
not. I don't remember what it was. I remember playing because I remember it's multiplayer, but we didn't really get very far into it.
was it Revelation?
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Yeah, Revelations, I think is what it
Yeah, yeah,
was.
yeah. She's in Revelations too. So I mean, she doesn't really
Mhm.
get a whole lot of shine. Now, also think about this. Jill, even when you really look at it, this is just me. She was. I don't think she gets much love in the series because she was only in 1 and 3, and then parts of
She was in
5.
five. Yeah.
Parts of 5 wasn't playing as the main character though. so she wasn't in Resident Evil 6. So I just feel and plus, yeah, she was in Resident Evil 3 the remake, but I just feel as though you don't see too much of Jill in Resident Evil. That's just
Hmm.
me. I would like,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, did we see her in the current generation system now? Yes, but I want to see her, in a brand new standalone Resident Evil game. It's only about time that they
Hmm.
do it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah, I really liked the trailer for Resident Evil Village. I was concerned though. It seemed as though the trailer itself was in 15 frames per second. It was very choppy,
It
and that
was.
has me somewhat concerned about how the game itself is going to run.
It
Uh,
was.
Hopefully, it was just because of the trailer, but if
Yeah.
I'm not going to be able to handle a Resident Evil game in 15 frames per second.
No, I wouldn't either. And some
I
people are,
can't handle any game at 15 frames per second.
yeah. And some people are not surprised by the new Resident Evil game because it's like you made a remake the past 2 years. They saw something coming. I
Hmm.
was hearing I was hearing rumors that it was going to be based on another village. So
Hmm.
that's cool. Granted, I don't know what the story is going to be in this one because I still have yet to play
Yeah.
Resident Evil 7. I have to play that before I even, you know, get my hands on Resident Evil 8.
Yeah, so I think the character you play as in 7, Ethan, is returning for 8.
Okay.
At the end of the trailer, when Chris kills, I guess, some woman,
Yeah.
he says, "I'm sorry, Ethan," and then he shoots her. So I guess it's the guy you play as in 7, but I think it's going to be first person because like when he opens the door and then the old man shoots,
Yeah, it's a front.
it was like coming from first person. But
I'm a little bit
uh,
disappointed that they are.
honestly, honestly, I kind of like the first person Resident Evil more. And I don't
Really?
really like first person shooters as much as third person. Like I will always pick third person first, but going from 7 to playing 2, um, I kind of missed the amount of searching you had to do in 7. Uh, I don't know if you played uh, the beginning hour or the teaser for it. Like you had to do a lot of searching over and under shelves and boxes and all, and that I thought was kind of cool.
Okay.
And I liked that in Resident Evil. I felt that there was more searching and exploring that transitions to the zombie apocalypse better because it makes you feel like you're scrounging more.
When in a first person view, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because you have to like look under, the stove or on top of a shelf that's kind of high up. Whereas in Resident Evil 2, you just have objects you can interact with. There's not
Okay, yeah.
that search high and low aspect of it.
You found you kind of fit more in the like horror atmosphere in the first person shoot because you
Yeah.
can't see your character, so like pretty much everything is pretty much
Hmm.
like a jump scare at that point.
Yeah.
Hmm. But I mean,
Mm.
I said I'll give it a shot and I'll give you my word on that. But
Yeah.
I
It
think
seems like they're going like with Wolfman, like a werewolf.
yeah, from the
Like the guy
trailer,
was howling at the end.
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know if they're gonna go more like Wendigo, but I guess it's kind of the same thing.
it
Um,
kind of looked like
but
that.
yeah,
Kind of looked like that, and it said 2021, right? Yeah, they said 2021.
yeah.
And
Hmm.
maybe early 2021. Who knows? I mean, maybe in
Yeah.
April. I'm gonna give it sometime around spring. I'll say
Yeah.
around then. So then we
Hmm.
get the game that I was very surprised to see. I was not planning on seeing it. Maybe you were. I'm not sure. I can't speak for you, but that was Horizon Forbidden West. I was very shocked to see another Horizon game because
Hmm.
thank you. I want to say shout out to you once again. I loved Horizon. I loved
Hmm.
Horizon, dude. Like that game is beautiful. I love it,
Yeah.
love it, love it. Like I would say 2017 was a great year for gaming. There was I would say I played 4 out of the I don't know it was five or six nominees. I definitely played four, and it was like the game of the year for 2017. I'm like, I pretty much played majority of those games for 2017,
Hmm.
yeah, or own them at least. So, like I said, fantastic game, man. Let's see, I don't remember seeing any gameplay, but the whole
Yeah, that was a little disappointing. It
yeah.
seemed like it was systematic, and I don't really trust that the game will look that well. However, Horizon Zero Dawn, the first one, looked very good.
Yes.
Uh, and so maybe that's what the game's actually going to look like, in which that I would say is a massive generational leap that they were promising. But again, without the gameplay, I'm very skeptical of it. However, yeah, I love Horizon Zero Dawn. So does Sarah. I know when the trailer came up and I started to hear Aloy talking, I started yelling into the other room, "Sarah, Sarah, come out here!" And I think I woke I woke Harper up because she was taking a nap. But
What?
yeah, I mean I'm very excited for that. That's definitely going to be a must buy for us.
Yeah.
I think Sarah and I both beat the game separately, and then I know I platinumed it, the
Oh,
first
that's
one.
good. I never. Then
Yeah,
again, there was a DLC for that, right?
yeah, I never beat that, but I'm sure that this is getting me my interest peaked again. So
Yeah,
I
you
think
might
I
need.
might have to go back and play through the DLC. Now, I know some people kind of complained about the first Horizon Zero Dawn story. My uncle was telling me that, but honestly, I think it's one of the best narratively written games out there. I thought it was very interesting where you know what happened after the apocalypse, but you didn't know what caused it.
Yeah,
And that I thought was a very interesting um, narrative choice where you knew the ending but not the beginning.
the end of it. And it was cool to have Earth is not ours anymore. It's the
Mm-hmm.
machine. Like it was different. I really like the character Aloy, especially the fact that
Mm-hmm.
I think what drawn her that she was just the outsider. She wasn't the one. She didn't wasn't on the ball. Like, well, why did they make fun of her again? She was something. She was some.
She she was an outsider because they just found her. I think they said she was cursed or something.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
It's been a little while since I played the game, but and fun fact: the voice actor for Aloy is the same voice actor for Tiny Tina in Borderlands. Uh, I don't remember her name. I want to say Ashley Burke, but I
Really?
could be wrong. Yeah, it's the same voice actor as Tiny Tina,
Yeah, I didn't know
which
that.
I think really shows her quality of voice acting that she can do someone as ridiculous as Tina,
No,
but someone as serious as Aloy.
video game actors, voice actors don't get a whole lot of credit. They
Mhm.
are very good. Like you have to know how to act. And a lot of these video game character voices are from people that do animated voice actors too. Like if I had a
Mhm.
choice, I would rather be a voice animator, a voice actor, honestly. Granted, you still have to act.
Mhm.
It's not like you can get in front of a mic and just say you have to really know how to act as well too.
Mhm.
You know. So I was very surprised to see that game. And I think that was like the last game shown. Grant, that was my list. I don't know if you had like any other games that you were interested in that I didn't see. Well, Demon Souls.
Oh yeah, I'm very excited for that. So that was, as I said, one of the other first games I played on PlayStation 3. Uh, that I would say is one of my all-time favorite games. I like Demon Souls more than Dark Souls, but I think it was more so Demon Souls is what introduced me to the genre, and that's why I like that one the most. But
I don't know the difference between Demon Souls and Dark Souls. I don't know the difference.
so it's the same company that made it.
Yeah.
However, Demon Souls was considered a financial flop because nobody really played it, but all the critics loved it, and it got a lot of talk because of how difficult it was. And so, because they didn't really make a whole lot of money on it, they took a gamble to make a second one, but changed the name so that it felt like a first one, so that people didn't feel like they were missing out.
And it's only a
It's
Sony
pretty
exclusive
not
game.
connected at all. Yeah, it was. So Demon Souls was only on PlayStation 3, and then I think when Dark Souls came out, they did Xbox as well.
Okay.
But um, yeah, I'm very excited for that one. Now that one they only really showed the cinematic trailer.
Yeah, then show gameplay of
There's no
that.
gameplay on that one. Um, now, Goodbye Volcano High was one that I thought I don't want to say was interesting because I hate the furry aspect of the game. However, I thought it was I liked the style of art in which it was a cartoon, and I think that those are 3D models. in the trailer, but it's just designed to look flat like a cartoon. But I could be wrong on that.
Yeah, I didn't
But
write it on my list. It wasn't
yeah,
one.
if you like the game's sort of, I don't want to say walking simulators, but not necessarily about any combat, but about the story, such as uh, Life is Strange. Um, if you're a fan of those, Goodbye Volcano High would probably be a good choice for you. Not really my cup of tea, but it's, I guess, a coming of age story about teens in high school. Um, but it's going to be a game that is going to have its niche market that is really passionate about it. But critically, I'm not sure if it's going to get any traction. But I'm looking through right now. Bug Snacks look so stupid. Uh, this should not have been a reveal game. They just brought back. I thought it brought down the entire reveal because like I said, going back to that quote, the largest generational jump. This looks like a GameCube game. It looks so stupid. I know it's by Octodad. The people made Octodad, so it's supposed to be stupid and silly, but
Okay, yeah, okay.
it just looks so bad.
For like a couple years ago, I would go on Twitch, and every time I always see the game highlight was like Octodad, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what is this? Be honest, I
Mhm.
understand that every game is not gonna be for anyone, but I'm like, I literally am like, what is this? Like, it I think one of the stupidest games I thought would look stupid. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Was Billy Hatcher and a Giant Egg. So maybe if I were to play Octodad, I'd be like, okay, this game looks stupid, but it's actually pretty fun. But like, I'm looking at it like, what is this game? I have no idea what it is.
Yeah, it's a big meme. Is that's the whole game is being a big meme. But yeah, I think most of the other games they showed were just trailers with really not much gameplay in them at all.
Yeah.
And
Which,
I was the NBA 2K21 was such a that it just
you're
showed a
not
guy
into
playing
sports
basketball
games.
and sweating. Like no,
You gotta attract the sports fans. You
stupid.
know. Yeah, you gotta attract
Yeah,
them. You have to. Like they
but what does sweat have to do with anything? And that's not even gameplay. That's just some cinematic trailer. You're not going to actually be able to see sweat that well in the actual game.
man. Let me tell you
It's
something right
going to
now.
be some shiny, clear graphics on their skin.
Let me say
So many
something
games
right
have been like
now.
that.
Let me say something right now. People that play 2K, they'll still be all for it. It doesn't matter. Like for Madden,
Even with all the gambling mechanics, they're going to still buy it up.
people love their sports games, man. I just feel as though sports games should just be, an actual downloadable game each because it's literally the same game. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
literally the same game, but people still buy them. I'm not hating on sports games. I just can't buy them like every year. It's the same thing. It's like just making it down. I
Mm-hmm.
think later, then again, I don't think they're gonna change it because that's their thing. Like that kind of like stops making them from makes them like so great all these years that they just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. Nothing's gonna
Mm-hmm.
change, but it's been helping to make money. So why would they change it?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
overall, no, those were all the games I thought were interesting. Like I said, I think
Yeah.
we pretty much kind of like the same things in common. So I said overall with this reveal, they didn't show a whole lot. It was kind of like I said, Maximilian said, it was like a low risk reveal. Which yeah, they're right. You know what I mean? They say, hey, we're gonna show all these games. They kind of they went in different aspects, like sports, adventures, horror. Granted, they had no fighting in which I was a little bit disappointed in that as a fighting game fan. But other than that, though, they went towards like every crowd, young, teenagers, adults. So it wasn't. It was
Mm-hmm.
like a diverse presentation. Now I'll say this, and Maximilian said this too, and I kind of have to agree with him. Is that he's saying that when it gets to Microsoft and they do their first party reveals, he doesn't think it's going to be as good as this first person reveal thing. Like this
Yeah.
first party reveal for Microsoft, it's just not there. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you got Halo, you got Gears. I still want to play. I probably will get an Xbox One maybe later this year when it's like a lot cheaper. I'll get Killer
Mm-hmm.
Instinct and that's it. But like other than that though, for first party Microsoft, I don't. I was honestly like the Series X. What can I say? you can already do so. Like the resolution for that, it's like you can do it on your PC. So what major big difference is the Xbox Series One going to have? And like I said, what games are they going to have? Like, I just don't know. Like, all right, I just feel as though I think people like more what the PS, I'm not PS, that's what Xbox One X can do. Whereas your core thing is the video games. Like that's it.
Mhm.
And I just
Yeah.
don't see Microsoft. Yeah, I could be surprised. I want to be surprised. I could be wrong, but like I just don't see
Yeah.
how. I just the game. I just don't see what they're gonna do that's gonna interest me. I just don't see it. And I don't mean to sound negative on
Yeah.
Microsoft, but like I don't see what they're gonna do.
Yeah. Compared to the vast library of system exclusives that Sony has, and the iconic games like Uncharted, Last of Us, Horizon.
Yes.
Xbox has a lot they're going to have to come up with this. They've got a long way to go before they can, I think, catch up to Sony to make me want to buy the Xbox over the PlayStation.
Hell, even Nintendo, even the Switch. I don't think they're gonna be
Yeah.
better than the Switch too. Like I think a lot of
Mm-hmm.
people can agree to this, and the Xbox One was a failed experiment. Like not failure, but
Mm-hmm.
like, it didn't live up to expectations because they totally
Mm-hmm.
advertised the thing wrong. Totally did not give you
Mm-hmm.
enough games for that. It
Mm-hmm.
honestly, Xbox One was already in a mess before the system even came out.
Mm-hmm.
It was already in a mess. So honestly, man, like here's the thing: they have to knock this out the park. Like, I know it's a lot of pressure on them, but like they have to do something to get fans back into. Because honestly, like I'll play my 360 before I play an Xbox One. You know what I mean? I still have a lot of
Yeah.
fun games on the 360, whereas Xbox One, I just don't see it. And I said it's not me trying to hate on that because, like I said, I love all video games, but like I just see nothing from Microsoft. I just don't see anything, and I don't know when the reveal is going to be. I keep hearing end of June or early July, but like they have to do something. They have to learn from what they get. You mean to tell me they're not going to
Mm-hmm.
watch this Sony reveal? They got to learn something from that. They have to do something.
Yeah.
I just don't see what
Show
they're going
more
to do.
gameplay. Because I know that was the main thing people complained about
Yes.
before.
Don't worry about your
Mm-hmm.
whole like fanciness of what the system can do. Give us the games. That's the core value of a
Mm-hmm.
system. Give me the games. And like I said, prove me wrong. I want them to prove me wrong. Listen, I don't want to see it fail. It's just that I just want to see them do better than what they did for Xbox One. Because like I said, Xbox One was a failure. It really, really was.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I might have someone in the comment that might disagree with me about that. I mean, definitely telling me why. But like I said, I think a lot of people will know that, unless you're an Xbox Microsoft fanboy, I don't think they're going to agree with you. But it's like, let's be real. Take the fanhood aside from it. You mean to tell me Xbox One had more exclusives, more better than PS4? I don't
Mm-hmm.
see that. I just do not
Yeah.
see it. I don't.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't. But I mean, like I said, prove me wrong, Microsoft. I really want you guys to prove me wrong. But as of right now, I do not see that coming. I don't.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and I'm pretty, and like I said, you still have those Sony fanboys, Microsoft fanboys. Oh, hate everything Xbox. I hate everything PlayStation. Like it's the stupid console wars, man. They can never agree on anything.
Mm-hmm.
Never agree on anything. Yeah, your face is like frozen.
Oh. Uh.
Like I
Huh.
said, I can hear you, but like I don't.
Oh yeah. I don't know what's going on with it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
nice picture. Oh yeah, you
Let
look
me
good.
try.
Hey,
Oh,
oh,
there we go. That's better.
oh man. But yeah, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
that's all I can really say for the PS4 and PS5
Mm-hmm.
reveal. It looked good. Like I said, not a whole lot of gameplay. They might be saving that for later down in the summertime, maybe August, July, because it says it comes in the holiday. I think it's supposed to be coming out in November.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's when it's coming out. It's
Yeah.
November. Yeah,
Probably right in time for Black Friday.
yeah. So, oh my god. So, what would you rate this if you had to give like a 1 out of 10?
I don't really like a 1 out of 10 scale.
Yeah.
Um,
Or do you want to say like
Just because yeah, if I was to do like 1 to 5 stars,
okay, let's do that.
um, I'd say probably a 4 to 5.
Oh,
I think the
really?
biggest thing, yeah, I liked the diverse gameplay. That's what, and the diverse artistic styles that they showed.
Okay.
My biggest complaint is that it didn't seem like it was that big of a generational leap.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's why for me,
but there was definitely a lot of games that I think looked promising, but outside of because there were so many new IPs, there wasn't really any games that I knew were going to be really good, guaranteed, except for Horizon and Resident Evil.
hmm yeah, I'm just a little bit
The other
surprised.
ones are going to be a bit of a gamble with.
No, I don't play Uncharted, but is Uncharted? How many Uncharted they made? 4 or 3? For
Or and then they released a PS Vita version, and then they released a spin-off with 2 of the characters, not Nathan Drake.
okay, so is that series done now?
I
Or
think they implied that it was because I think at the end he gave up on treasure hunting.
okay,
Uh,
it was not like his character died.
no, he just gave up. I guess or the way they ended it, I don't see them making another one without being a reboot of the series, such as bringing in like one of his like a child or something.
Yeah, yeah. I was a little bit surprised to not see. We saw a Ratchet game, but not a Jax game. That would have been
Mm-hmm.
nice to see. And
Yeah.
this is low key. I know it's not a very popular take on it, but like, I wouldn't mind seeing another PlayStation All Stars Battle Royale. I thought the game was pretty. It was okay. I would like to see another one of that though.
Yeah.
I am a fan of crossover party games, so that would have been nice to see.
Mm-hmm.
Well, anyways, everybody, I think we're gonna get going now, as I'm starting to feel tired and whatnot. So that's our first ever.
Mm-hmm.
I was first of many yet to come video game discussions. I feel that the next one I want to do is possibly, I'm pretty sure you're gonna get The Last of Us 2, although you don't feel so happy about it.
I don't know. I'm gonna wait and see what my friends say about it because
Okay.
it's getting a lot of tense. However, I know there's some pretty insane embargoes on it right now where the reviews aren't allowed to talk. I think about the second half of the game.
Okay.
I know Skill Up said he hated it. He kind of attributed it sort of like the Last Jedi, but from a narrative deconstruction point of view,
Okay.
where it kind of messed up. It ruins your view of the first one, is what he had said. But we'll see. We'll see what my coworker says who bought it
Because I
or
would
is getting it.
because I would like to do a discussion for that one.
Yeah.
So I know. I have a couple of friends of mine that are play the game, and like I said, if we can somehow
Mm-hmm.
get together and talk about it, that would be dope.
Yeah.
That'll be a future discussion. Can't think of
Mm-hmm.
any other ones, any upcoming ones. Well, I guess the next discussion we can also do is eventually when Microsoft does their reveal event, and we'll discuss that as well too.
Yeah.
So yeah, but as
Mm-hmm.
right now, I mean like. I understand it says we're not out yet, but right now Sony's, is up there right now. So I said, Microsoft,
Mm-hmm.
this is your chance. This is your chance. Might be your only chance, your last chance to like get people back on, the Microsoft bandwagon. You know what I mean? Because like I think during the whole 360 and PS3, I feel as though 360 was kind of What was I can't really answer that question. What was better for at the time? What were people saying? Did they like the 360 more or the PS3, or was it like both even at that point? So I can't really
I
remember.
think I think the 361 because of the hubris of the PlayStation 3 with its price tag. I think was the main reason why people didn't like it because
Okay.
it was so much more expensive. And then everyone jumped onto the 360, and then you got games like Call of Duty that really became popular,
That's
and
right.
that's where everyone got hooked, and
Yeah.
Halo as well.
360
But
was more. The 360 control was more for the first person shooter type of thing. But I
Mm-hmm.
think right now they
Yeah.
lost a lot of fans during Xbox One, so now it feels like they're gonna try
Mm-hmm.
to like come out. They're not dead. They're making a whole lot of money, but it's like they need to like get in the get back in those quote unquote console wars, you can say.
Yeah.
And right now the Switch is
Mm-hmm.
just sitting pretty right now, so yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this discussion. I know we did. We definitely plan on doing more discussions in the future. It just time and schedule is always freaking tough. It is not easy to do, especially people say, "I'm doing this, I'm doing that, this, that, and the third." Like it gets very difficult, but eventually we will pull through. So, anyways, leave a comment section below. Let us know if we like if there's some information that we possibly missed, and maybe we'll look into that. And we'll discuss it again. So, like I said, in my opinion, if I had to rate it, I give it maybe like 2.5 or 3. Because like I said, it wasn't like a
Out of
whole.
five.
Say what?
Out of five.
Yeah, because
Okay.
there really wasn't
Yeah.
a whole lot to show. Like I said, it
Hmm.
wasn't even that long of a reveal anyway. It's only about like maybe like an hour or something like that, or 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
I couldn't remember, but yeah, it wasn't all that much. But anyways, like I said once again, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Leave a comment section below, and we'll see you guys next time. Take care.